If you're gonna be traveling this summer, let this be your sign to vlog your trip.
I know you've been thinking about it. This time, you're actually gonna do it.
I've been vlogging my travels for years now, and I'm so grateful to my past self for capturing all of those moments on camera. You don't have to be a pro videographer and you don't need a ton of fancy gear. With just your phone, a few accessories, and my helpful tips,
And yes, I promise they're gonna be helpful.
you'll be ready to make beautiful travel vlogs that you'll love looking back on for years to come. Because whether or not your travel vlogs get a ton of views on YouTube, they're so worth creating because you'll want to watch them and your family will want to watch them. And trust me, years from now, you'll be grateful that you picked up the camera and captured that trip. Personally, I've been making my travel vlogs just as a hobby and I love it. It's a fun way to be creative and document these cool moments. So today I'm gonna share some essential tips for filming yourself while you're traveling, even if you're by yourself and even if you feel awkward filming in public. And thanks to Insta360 for sponsoring today's video. I know some people really worry that filming their travels is gonna take away from the travel experience, but I personally find it's the opposite. When you really wanna document something well, you have to take the time to notice what's interesting about it. Not only visually what stands out to you, but what are your other senses picking up on? The sights, sounds, smells, feelings of the place all leave their own impression. And the process of considering how to represent that in your videos, I think in itself is a way of appreciating a place. Making great travel videos is about becoming great at noticing. It's the art of paying attention. What we don't want to be is the tourist that walks around with a camera in our face all day, snapping away without any consideration of what we're looking at. Instead, we want the process of documenting a place to contribute to our appreciation of it. That means that we don't just capture everything. We think about it critically and creatively. Tip number 1, pay attention before you document. When you enter a new space when you're traveling, start by just noticing, simply paying attention to your surroundings. I really believe this can be like a mindfulness practice, and it helps to take in your travels in a more deep way. Instead of rushing to just pick up your camera, slow down, look around, and pay attention. Then you can gather clips of what's left an impression on you. To get a nice variety of shots, you're gonna wanna vary the focal length a bit. If you're filming with your iPhone, all this means is switching between the 0.5 times lens, the 1 times lens, the 2 times lens, etc. You'll get more cool clips if you don't just film everything on 1 times all the time. You can start by getting a wide shot to establish where we are for the scene. You'd wanna use either the 0.5 or the 1 times lens, depending on where you are and how big the space is. Then you can switch over to the 2 times lens and get a few close-ups with a bit more depth of field to really highlight those little details that you've noticed. And finally, you might even get some ultra close-ups or just regular close-ups of stuff that's kind of far away using the 5 times lens. Variety is so important for building sequences that are going to be interesting to watch. And also just more immersive. Like when you capture things in this level of detail, it helps you to remember the experience more. Not only because you've captured it quite thoroughly, but also because you had to put in the time to think about how you wanted to capture it. And it's that act of intention and mindfulness that I think actually really brings a lot to your trip. Like it adds a lot of value. Okay, finally, you're gonna wanna get a few clips of you experiencing the environment. This is what's gonna take your vlogs from like generic family slideshow vibes to a really interesting and dynamic travel video. As the viewer, we wanna see you. We wanna see your reactions and what your experience was like. So make sure to turn the camera around and capture yourself as well. So maybe you're doing something like walking by the camera or even capturing your reaction as you look up at something beautiful. Or maybe it's taking a bite of something delicious and showing us your reaction to the food. Okay, but how do you actually film clips like this, especially if you're traveling by yourself? Basically, there are 3 main options. Number 1 is a vlog style shot, basically just you holding the camera at arm's length and filming yourself. Option 2, use a tripod. When you're in a setting that allows for it and you feel comfortable leaving your camera while you walk away, you can set up your phone on like a mini tripod or even just like set it on like a ledge or a windowsill somewhere. Whatever surface presents itself, that can become your tripod, and that's a way to get a quick shot of yourself. And your third option is to film yourself using a gimbal, which brings me to my second tip that I want to share with you, which is to film yourself with some movement to make your videos more dynamic. And if you want to get some movement in your shots, you could use a gimbal like this. This is Insta360's new Flow 2, and it's designed to be beginner friendly, but get you pro level results. It's basically the budget-friendly version of my favorite gimbal from Insta360, the Flow 2 Pro, with a lot of the same features, but at a lower price point. First of all, it's so easy to set up with one-step deployment. Basically what that means is you can just flip around the gimbal arm here and it'll automatically turn on. Then all you have to do is magnet your phone to the mount and it'll automatically start stabilizing it.
Now that I'm set up, tracking myself just takes a couple of taps.
I can tap on the gesture control icon here and make sure that it's turned on for all 3 of these options.
So I can flip the camera around like this and have it on my 0.5 lens, and all I have to do is hold up my hand and it'll start tracking and recording me, so I can film with the back cameras and know that I'm always in frame. This makes it really easy to get the framing right even when I'm filming with the back camera, and it's always beautifully stabilized.
For when I want to get some different angles of myself, I can extend the built-in tripod and then set the gimbal down somewhere. Okay, so for this shot, I'm gonna use this gesture, like the L, because I got multiple people in the shot. And with the Flow 2's new AI tracking capabilities, I can make sure that my framing stays looking great, even with multiple people in my shot. You can see the comparison here. If I'm only tracking myself, how my friends are getting cut out because it's only tracking me, like just me as an individual person. That's why the group tracking function is so cool, because it'll automatically balance the composition and keep your whole group in the frame. Another cool tracking feature I love is the Pro Framing Grid. If you're used to using other gimbals, you might have noticed that it always wants to keep you in the exact center of the frame. However, sometimes you might want to compose the shot a bit differently. With the Pro Framing Grid, you can select a certain area of the frame to keep your subject in, which allows you to get more cinematic looking shots. Speaking of tracking, a feature that I loved about the Flow 2 Pro is that you can track yourself just using the camera app on your phone. Now with the Flow 2, even though it's the budget-friendly option, you can do the same thing with the AI tracking bundle. Basically, you just add on this little tracker that comes with a built-in light to your Flow 2, and now you can seamlessly track yourself in any app on any kind of phone, which means you can basically get the same functionality of the Flow 2 Pro, but for $129 rather than $229. And the best part is, when you're done getting the shot, the Flow 2 is so small and compact, I can easily fold it back down and put it in my small sling bag, which is perfect for bringing around with you on your travels.
The Flow 2 is Insta360's newest gimbal, designed to be beginner-friendly and perfect for travel. Grab yours now at the link in my description, and thanks again to Insta360 for sponsoring today's video. Okay, now my third tip for you is to remember to talk to the camera. I feel like a lot of beginner travel vloggers forget to turn the camera around and actually speak to it, and I get it. It feels very awkward and unnatural. It feels a lot more normal to just film what you're seeing rather than film yourself, but it's so important to do. Trust me that the moments where you're actually talking and sharing your experience, especially if you're capturing funny moments between you and your friends or your partner, those are gonna be your favorite moments in any of your travel vlogs that you make. So you've gotta just go for it. I know it feels awkward. Hey, but that's the amazing thing about travel vlogs specifically, is when you're filming, you can look around and be like, I'm never gonna see these people again. So just go for it. Be a weirdo and film yourself. My general guideline is try to get at least one talking clip or A-roll clip for every different scene that you capture. And what should you talk about in these clips, you might ask? Well, my biggest tip for you is just don't give a play-by-play. You're capturing everything that you're seeing, so you don't need to tell us what you're seeing because you're showing us. Okay, like you're entering some old cathedral in Europe. We can tell that. Don't tell us in your A-roll clip, okay, and then we walked into the church. Instead, why don't you tell us what that cathedral's called, how old it is, what's its significance to the place that you're visiting? Or you could tell us about your first impressions. How does it make you feel to be there? In general, focus on your first impressions and how you're feeling rather than just giving a play-by-play of what you're doing, and it's gonna feel more interesting to watch. And remember, you can always record voiceover later on to provide more context, especially if you want to share like the information or details about a place. It can be helpful to do a little bit of research after the fact and make sure you have all of your, dates straight before you report them to the camera. But in general, record lots of A-roll. You can cut some of it out later. You can add more voiceover as well. Just tell us how you're feeling, because that's the interesting part. It's always fun to see someone's first impressions of a new place. Also, hot tip for better audio, use an external microphone like a wireless lav.
With the release of the Flow 2 I was talking about before, Insta360 has also come out with the Mic Air, which is so tiny.
This is an audio test of Insta360's Mic Air. You can see how while I'm filming out in public, even if I'm really far from my camera, I can still get really clean and crisp audio. I can easily like magnet it to my shirt. That's what it would sound like from down here. You can see it makes a huge difference rather than relying on the audio just from my phone.
It comes with a super low profile receiver that allows you to still plug in other accessories because of the extra USB-C port here. And the mic itself is really tiny and discreet, so you can just magnet it to your shirt and you're good to go.
Whether or not you use a mic though, I just really believe that including those talking to camera pieces makes a huge difference in making your travel vlog more memorable, more fun to watch, and just a lot more personal, right? Because anybody can, capture some footage panning across like the old town in Prague. But what makes me want to watch your video is seeing how you experience it and how you felt about it. So make sure to include that. My last travel vlog pointer for you is to take your time and be respectful. Getting all the beautiful shots that you want will take time, so you need to have patience. And this is especially true if you're dedicated to being respectful of the other people around you. Please don't be annoying to other tourists. Let people pass by. Don't expect them to stop where they are so that you can get a perfect shot with no people in the background. Especially when you're filming videos, like that takes longer than just taking a photo. So you kind of just have to accept it's not going to be perfect. Don't expect everybody else to alter their days, on behalf of your vlog. It's so easy when we're traveling to kind of like dehumanize other tourists in our minds. But the truth is they also dreamed of visiting this location. They saved up for a long time to be here just like you. So don't be the annoying person that like ruins the experience for everybody. It's easy to get caught up in main character syndrome, but look, we're all just here trying to appreciate the same beautiful and historic place. And of course, on top of that, make sure you're being respectful to locals. Remember not to film people's faces without permission, and don't treat a place as if it's a museum or a theme park. Remember, people actually live there. I don't pull any kind of weird influencer stuff abroad that I wouldn't do in my own city. Though admittedly, I do some weird influencer stuff. I'm like constantly in the local park embarrassing myself, but I don't think I'm bothering anyone. And that's the standard that I try to keep when I'm traveling places as well. I'll just be honest, it takes a lot of practice to get comfortable with all of this, but I really do think it's worth practicing. You're gonna be so grateful to your past self for documenting so many cool memories. And the truth is, if you do want to grow a travel vlog channel on YouTube, these are really the foundations that you need to put in place before you start layering on top all of the strategy that can help, turn your channel into a business one day. Start with these 101 building blocks, get comfortable with filming yourself, crafting a story out of your experiences. And once you've got that down, you can start considering how titles and thumbnails and content strategy can fit into the picture. Also, by the way, if editing all of these videos is something that kind of holds you back from documenting your adventures, I do have a team of YouTube editors that is here to help if you want it. My agency, Creatorly Media, provides video editing services for YouTubers. So if you're curious about that, you can check it out at creatorlymedia.com. We'd love to edit for you. If you want some more tips and specifically some different B-roll shot ideas that you could include in your next vlog, check out this video next. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having adventures and following your dreams, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.